Hey, y'all, listen, welcome in the building. It's Tuesday, it's trending topics. We got stuff to talk about, and I'm so glad to see y'all here in the building, spending some time with the diva. I'm trying to get comfortable in my chair. Listen, people, y'all know the routine when y'all come in here. Your ticket on this train ride, all you got to do is hit the like button. That's it. Hit the like button, people, and then you got your ticket on the diva train. Listen, tonight's trending topics is very serious. It's called Protect the Woman. Protect the woman. You know, at the last minute, I saw this story where a mom in Chicago literally got beat up, her son, by some school-age kids. And I don't know what world we are living in today with young kids. I don't even think they're not high school kids. So when I was growing up, I guess they considered it middle school. Middle school kids beating up on a mom and their fellow student. And I said to myself, wow. Sorry, y'all. I said to myself, wow. This is the world we're living in today? It's not just sad, it's beyond sad. It's deplorable. I would be sick to my stomach if I saw a video of some kids beating up another kid and a mom, and the child that was participating in this beatdown was my kid. Not only would I have my kid in counseling, I would be in counseling too, because obviously I ain't doing something right. Sad. And all of those kids need to be locked up. I don't care what their age is. And their parents too. We're going to talk about it. So add on to the docket tonight. Protect the woman. Then we got this lady that was on a train in Chicago, and she got burnt to a crisp. You got to be careful right now who you engage with. There is no argument worth it. I was in the store tonight. I ain't going to tell y'all what store because y'all going to judge me. I was in the store, and I don't do the self-checkout. I always get on the line. I don't care how long the line is. I look through a book, a magazine while I wait my turn. I'm not doing self-checkout. I'm coming to the store, and then I got to work. I don't do the self-checkout. I got in the line, and this woman had stepped out the line. She was in the line in front of me. She stepped out the line, and I don't know what she was doing. She did something. Then she came back and said, I was here. I said, go ahead. Go ahead. I ain't in no rush. And the man behind me was like, you ain't have to let her. It ain't that serious. Go ahead. Be careful who you argue with these days. You can have a simple disagreement with a perfect stranger, and the next thing you know, your family is burying you. It ain't worth it. Don't worry about it. Go ahead. Do your thing. No, I'm not upset. I'm fine. An argument, and now she got set on fire. And a bystander said the young lady was burnt to a crisp over a disagreement. Oh my God. Sad. We're going to talk about it. The title is called Protect the Woman. And then there's this influencer. I didn't know about this influencer until this story. Girlalala. She's a transgender. What she was, may she rest in peace. She was a transgender woman, and her boyfriend killed her. What is wrong with people these days? You know, when I was growing up, your boyfriend didn't want you no more, or you didn't want them no more. You got a couple phone calls, people were sad, there was some tears going on, and the next thing you know, each person met somebody else, and life went on. I don't know where this thing turned the tides and people decide that they're going to take the life of somebody else because they no longer, what? Dating these days is scary. It's very scary. You don't want me no more, so now you got to kill me? And those individuals need to rot in the jail. Rot in the jail. Literally. Never see the day of light. I don't care how many programs you did in the jail. I don't care how many degrees you got. I don't care if you studied till you got your PhD. I don't care if you wrote books, help the fellow inmates get through. Rot in the jail. And matter of fact, when you die, they're going to have your funeral right in the jail. Let your casket be locked up on the prison grounds. It's ridiculous. Taking somebody's life because they don't want to be with you no more. It's a mess. And then we got this Patrick Beverley. Think he was an NBA player, something in the sports. Now, I got to talk to these moms, these single moms. When you have 2 kids, 3 kids, 4, 5, however many you have, and there's no dad in the household, you cannot pick the son you have in that household. If you have a son, you can't be like, little man, tag you in. You the man of this house now. No, he's not. He's a kid. It's not the man of the house now. Thank you, former NBA player. It's not the man of the house. And even if your son is grown now and you still got younger kids left behind, it is not your son's responsibility to be the father to his siblings. So this Patrick Beverley has a teenage sister. She cutting up, acting up, whatever she doing in the streets. So she was in the streets. The mom called him. And he comes over to handle it. According to his sister, he roughed her up. And next thing you know, the po-po was called. The police was called. And he gets arrested. Well, to his mother, he's not the father of your daughter. He should have never went over there and used his hands. He should have used his words. But on the flip side, to the mother, he is not the father. And these single mothers, you got to stop. No, little man is not the father and the man of the house now. He's still a kid too. I'm not talking about Patrick Beverley. I'm just talking about in general. And Patrick, you should have spoke to your sister on the phone. And mom needs to stop calling you. Now the problem is bigger than it was. Because your sister now still going to be in the streets and you got arrested. And you got a whole court case now. Because your sister wanted to be in the streets. I told you over here, 9 times out of 10, them streets is undefeated. Speak to the people behind bars who thought they was going to beat the streets. And now they doing 25 to life. The streets are undefeated. If your sister want to be in the streets, sleeping with these different men and doing whatever she want to do, you can talk to her, but if that's what she going to do, let her go in the streets and see what the streets got for her then. But your mother shouldn't be calling on you to be the father. Where's dad at? We're going to talk about it. And you know, every now and then there'll be some rough nights over here. Hang in there, because it's trending topics. And I can't help without what's in the news. I just discuss what's out there. And we're going to have a real discussion. And I think a lot of these, before I bring the people in the building, I think what happens a lot is, you know, so many people, they tell you when you a single parent, oh, you need a man in that household. They act as if the only way a child is going to be raised up right with some morals and do the right thing is if it's two parents in that household, or if it's some man that you scrape up off the street to help you raise your kid. Well, I'm here to tell you the devil is a lie. I'm not scraping nobody up off the street to help me raise my kid. It ain't going to happen. And quiet as it's kept, there's a lot of men that I dated. Some of them came from two-parent households. Some of them came from single-parent household, and I had to raise them up as an adult. So I'm supposed to, you supposed to grab somebody out there that wasn't raised right themselves to help you raise your kids because you are a single parent. Come on, stop, people. Sometimes we listen to these cliches in the street and we adopt them as if they're facts. I know some people that come from a two-parent household and they're a hot stinking mess. So it ain't really about how many people are raising you. It's about who's raising you and what are they instilling in you. Whether it's one or two people or three or four or five. But let's talk about it. As these people is in the streets doing the most. And mom, you got it in you for this Patrick Beverley story. I wouldn't have had to call my son. I would have talked to little mama myself and tell her to get it all the way together. Because I'm the queen of the household and you're going to follow my rules. You want to be in them streets? Huh. Listen, people, we're going to talk tonight. It's called Protect the Woman. Y'all know what I need in the street. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Tuesday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. The title's called Protect the Woman. We're going to talk about first the mom that got beat up by some school kids. The mom, and we heard this story over and over and over again, where the parent is talking to the school about their child being bullied. And listen, I ain't the queen of a lawsuit, but you know what I'm thinking what these parents need to do? After you done talk to the school, you done sent the email, you talk to the principal, the teacher, and everybody under the sun, the who's in charge of the board of education, with all the people. You spoke to everybody, and they still ignoring the fact of what's happening to you and your kid. Get the lawyers, get the suing. And this mother should sue. Gonna talk about her, this Chicago woman set on fire, Girlalala, and Patrick Beverley. Let me bring the people on in the building. Hold on one second. Hey, in my opinion.
Hey, Diva Choo Choo.
Hey, Savannah. Hey, Felicia. Hey, Julius. Listen.
Hey, y'all. Choo Choo, hit the like button for the Diva.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to do this add-on story first. Let me first show you what happened to this mother and her child. So sad. And then we will go. I have another piece to it, and then we'll talk about it.
The little kids in them, not the big kids. The big kids not touching them. I'm saying the little kids. Oh, should smash that bitch on my brother. Damn! Crack, damn! Damn! Hey, Phil, let my homie go. Let my motherfucking homie go. Let my motherfucking Be his ass, yo! Damn! working it. They working it. Damn! Damn! Oh my God! Dang!
Chicago South Side pregnant mother and kids got gang attacked by a group of kids while they was walking home from school.
Come on, blood! Shamar looking at! Shamar! Come here! What you want, Shamar, foot? Shamar, foot, what you want, Shamar? Shamar looking at ass. Come on! Look at them ankles, boy! Shamar looking at ass. Giant! Julia! Hey, foot, don't touch my brother, foot. Oh, hell no, those ankles ashy as fuck. Look at them bitches, bad crackhead. Other bitches, more. That's his ass. That's his ass. Damn. Oh my God, damn. The little kids in them, not the big kids. The big kids not touching them. I'm saying the little kids. Smash.
Super sad. Let me 1 second.
Tonight, a mother and child beaten on the way home from school.
The attack was caught on cell phone video and has sparked demands for immediate action. Casey Cronus is live at Chicago Police Headquarters with the latest. Casey.
That's right. And community members, as you mentioned, they want answers. Now, Mayor Brandon Johnson and other elected officials tonight are condemning the attack as well, calling it deeply disturbing. And we need to warn you, it is heartbreaking to watch this video. It happened yesterday, shortly after school dismissal, and we have blurred and frozen the video before things escalate. Chicago police are now investigating after a 33-year-old mother named Korshonda and her 9-year-old son were viciously attacked near 106th and Bensley. Her young daughter was also there. The terrifying incident unfolded just a couple blocks away from Orville Bright Elementary School, where the boy is a student. Korshonda says they were walking home when a group of kids began following them, then started punching and kicking the mother and son.
They fought my son, they hit my son first, all in his face. Then they dragged me in the grass and pulled my little baby hair. I'm trying to get justice for my son. I'm thankful for everybody that came out here today to support me.
Community members rallied outside the school today with the boys' parents calling for justice. Korshonda says her son has been bullied at Bright and claims the administration isn't doing enough to protect him. We have Chicago Public Schools' response, but first, a local rapper, Lil Zay Osama, is now coming forward to help. He says he wants to fly the mom and son to LA for dinner and Christmas shopping and has a message for other children listening.
It's just something that shouldn't be going on. Kids should be able to go to school and be comfortable walking home from school and at school learning, you know what I'm saying? Like, kids at that age should not be doing things like that, especially to an adult and to their peers that go to school with them. That's crazy. That shouldn't be happening in our community. We got to do better.
A CPS spokesperson tells us in part, we are horrified by the attack on this family, and we are working collaboratively with city departments and agencies to provide support to the victims. CPS is coordinating closely with the mayor's office, CPD, CHA, and other city departments to provide additional support to the family. In his statement, Mayor Brandon Johnson also said that we cannot normalize this type of behavior. There was an increased police presence near the school today. Reporting live outside CPD headquarters, Casey Cronus, Fox 32, Chicago.
Super sad. In my opinion, your thoughts?
These kids are getting rougher and rougher. The disrespect. I've never seen kids try to jump an adult before. This broke my heart. I saw it early this morning. It broke my heart because I was like, really, this is what the kids are doing. This lets me know that they don't have no home training at home. You're not being taught no respect, no nothing. I don't understand these kids, and then you wonder why these kids are ending up where they ended up at. It's because they don't have no home training. They out here raising themselves, just like a pack of wild animals out here on the streets. But they need to lock every last one of them up. I told you these schools are getting really, really, really bad with not handling this bullying thing. It has gotten worse and worse. At first it was just words. um Now it's becoming, I push you or spitballs and all this stuff. I think we need to actually do something about bullying. If somebody bullying a kid, they need to be put out of school. Maybe from now on their parents will teach them to shut their mouth while they at school. This your only job, to go to school and learn. Better keep your dang mouth closed.
This was just sad. Savannah, thank you. In my opinion, Savannah, your thoughts?
This is my first time seeing the video. I wasn't aware that this story was out there. This is disgusting. These are our children with a mom mentality already, with no regard for a pregnant woman. This is, and the lady had 2 children there, and all she was doing was trying to walk. She's pregnant and had 2 children there, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And they pulled the hair of the baby, the little girl,
Mm-hmm.
and then attacked the son.
Well, she's not.
I think that the parents, I thought in the story it said she was pregnant, and she looked like she was.
Yeah.
And nonetheless, it's still, she was doing what most parents should be doing, is walking their kids home from school. I believe that every single last one of them needs to be charged. The parents should also face some charges in this story as well. I think police presence needs to be a staple there in that community, not just today or this week. It needs to happen. There should be a presence there permanently. There's obviously a lack of resources in this community and a lack of role models. This is beyond sad. I mean, I've never seen anything like this with no regard, absolutely whatsoever. It's beyond bullying to me. This was a vicious terroristic attack by a mom, and the mom happens to be children.
Woo.
We have a real problem here, and this is why you have an administration that wants to declare martial law on a city such as Chicago, where their leaders are clearly failing their communities. Because for it to get to this point, something's wrong. This is so bad. This is horrible.
Thank you, Savannah. Katrina, your thoughts?
Hello, Diva. Hello, panel. Hello, chat. I'm so confused because when the parent went to the school and let them know her child was being bullied, well, he's been bullied. Nobody did anything. But once he got bullied and she got beat up, you had security enforced right there. Y'all could have eliminated this. And that's the thing I was saying, about the story last week, I think what we did, where the dad got on the bus and stopped the little boy or little girl from bullying his child because he intervened. Maybe something like this would have happened if he didn't intervene. But it's still sad on all levels. And I give my hat out to all teachers and educators, because me myself personally, I couldn't do it because I would be in jail. But I hope the lady gets some justice. That's all I got.
Thank you. Julius, your thoughts?
One thing I could say, I'm glad I grew up in the village, in the way of the village. Even now, at my big old age, if I talk out of line to an elder, I get checked. I've been saying this a lot because I feel this in my spirit and I'm seeing this with my own eyes. These children today are scurry. They are scary. They fear nothing. They think they so big bad. And yes, I did say in the chat, you know what? Lock them up. They so big bad. They think they got it like that. They think they know everything. Lock they little mob headed attacking behinds up. Because and I'm putting this on the parents of today, especially those parents who raised those little demons. This is what being your child's friend is the result, and not being a parent. Once you stop being a parent, the children think they can act how they act, and this is the result. I am sick and tired of this gentle parenting and all of that, because this is the result of that. Start calling these kids out. Start holding them accountable, and start instituting consequences instead of being their little old friend.
I appreciate you, Julius. I feel like they're seeing what their parents do. I don't know if it's so much gentle parenting or they seeing what their parents do. Felicia, your thoughts?
So greetings everyone. Thank you, Diva. So while I'm listening, I'm doing some research, and it turns out there's over 70 to 75 gangs in the Chicago area. And that covers a number of 100,000 plus young people, somewhere between the ages of 16 and 25. Those were little kids. That were out there. I don't, maybe a third grader. One looked like a third grader. And someone in the chat says, well, the person recording didn't try to intervene. That probably was a sixth grader. These were really children. And so, no, I'm going to remain consistent. I don't believe they need to be locked up, but I certainly do believe that perhaps they need to go back to where they have these specialized schools for young people who are not getting the support services that they need. It used to be somewhere around the time you got to high school. Clearly, we need to go starting at the elementary, primary school stage. The other thing I researched was how well does this Orville Bright Elementary School perform? So they don't perform very well. In fact, it's unranked. And the last time the kids took the test, 8% scored. Okay, this is K through 5. They scored 8% on the math and 8% on the reading. I know many don't agree with me, but the data, the research always supports when you have these kinds of unguarded, unproductive, very violent kind of school situations, when children are not being taught, when they're not being engaged, when they're not being valued. This is what you get. Now, for this mother, God bless her bravery and God bless her courage and the love for her children. That's when I talk about love and protect. And look what they did to her. But she still said, and I stand with her, no, I want justice for my son. And I want her to want it too. I'm absolutely confident that their lives are going to change. I'm sorry they had to go through this to get the change that they need. But goodness is coming. This reminds me of Erica out there in Detroit, who she and the mama was homeless. And the mother put her in that summer program. And the judge went and called her out and disrespected her and had her handcuffed and put into all of this other stuff. It was horrible. But on the other end came grace, and came light and came of opportunity for this family. So this mother is not going to have to deal with this anymore. You see how bloodied up she is from these kids stomping her, beating her children. This has been going on probably since the start of school. And I believe her. She put in complaints. Why I believe her? Because she went to school to walk her children home. And it still happens. Now, I don't know what these parents are going to do who have these children out of control, because 100,000 plus of these young people are in gangs. There's 70 to 75 gangs out there. Now, maybe some of you remember Marvin Collins. Marvin Collins is a great educator, come out of Chicago. So this isn't the new story. This is an old story. Marvin Collins was working as a public school teacher in these underserved public schools there in Chicago. This was back in the 90s. And she took her retirement money and opened up her own school because she doesn't believe that children can fail or children shouldn't be valued or loved. She said, give me these children. I'm going to give them an opportunity. And she did. And she did so well that I remember there was a 60 Minutes piece where the graduates of from these schools where Marva had been the foundation of their learning would not go on camera because they were threatened. They were being told that bad things was going to happen to them. So Chicago is long time into this failure, this violence, this inability to get out of their own way. I agree with Savannah. Donnie J gonna come in now for real. This is gonna happen now. Okay, he's gonna use this because these children are too small, and I didn't see one parent, not yet, I know it's not even 24 hours, come forward and apologize on behalf of one of their kids, because I think some of them were siblings, if I'm trying to listen to them, and say, we're sorry, and make those kids apologize. So it's not even that kind of humility here. But no, I don't want to see them locked up. I don't want to see them in juvenile detention. I want to see them in special classes and places where they're going to learn and be engaged, maybe be in smaller schools and not be with regular kids. But this school is a failing school. So God bless, this child is going to be out of this school and go on and do great things. I'm done.
I appreciate you. Yeah, Miss KJ, I think the parents are trash. I think I'm gonna let that be what it is. But yeah, let me move forward to the next story. And unfortunately, this Chicago mom, I'm saying mom, I'm sorry, this Chicago woman on the train, disagreement, and the man literally set her on fire.
A really disturbing story this morning. A woman severely burned after she was set on fire on a Blue Line train.
Yeah, the attacker ran off the train and has yet to be found.
Darius Johnson continuing to follow this story for us live from Stroger Hospital. We have the latest on the investigation. Darius, also, how's the woman doing?
Hey there, ladies. Good morning to the both of you. Chicago police say that all of this started with a verbal argument on the train and ended with that woman being set on fire. She's currently here at Stroger Hospital in critical condition. Take a listen to what we heard over a police scanner.
We're getting several calls of this. Arson just occurred. Blue Line, Clark and Lake and the Blue Line. There's a female was just set on fire on the CTA train.
This was just before 9:30 last night. Chicago police say the victim was a 26-year-old woman and a 45-year-old man who got into a verbal altercation while riding the Blue Line train near Clark and Lake. Witnesses say the dispute escalated and the man splashed a liquid on the woman, ignited it, setting her on fire. When the train stopped, the man ran off. The woman got off the train and collapsed on the platform before firefighters arrived to put out the flames. Our crew was there last night and spoke to witnesses before she was rushed here to Stroger Hospital with severe burns and critical condition.
Seen them before everything happened. Everything looked fine. She was sitting there by herself. And then all of a sudden, I get off the train at the front and I hear a girl scream and I see her run off the train in flames. I seen a group of guys and one girl run toward the exit where there's no orange line. They were bursting out of there. And I go running over to see what's going on. She's already out on the ground, just crying, burnt to a crisp.
Back out here live this morning, arson detectives are leading this investigation. Chicago police say no one is in custody at this time. They are working to sort through some of that CTA video camera footage that may be nearby, while also trying to get any footage from any witnesses who may have been on that train as well. Those Blue Line trains were temporarily halted during this investigation. However, they are now back up and running again this morning. For now, we are live at Stroger Hospital. I'm Darius Johnson. Ladies, back to you.
All right, Darius, thank you for that update.
Well, a person is now being.
I think they got the person in custody. I think that's what the next video was saying there. Chicago woman riding on train set on fires. The suspect is still at large. That was earlier. I think they might have caught him. A woman is reportedly in critical condition after the man allegedly set her on fire in the middle of an argument on a busy Chicago train Monday. According to Chicago News, a 26-year-old woman and a man believed to be about 45 years old got into a heated argument that became physical around 9:30 p.m. on Monday. The outlet reports the man poured some sort of liquid onto the woman and ignited it, setting her on fire. The man reportedly fled the scene when the train came to a stop in the city's Loop, a downtown business area known for tourist-friendly shopping and dining. The woman collapsed on the platform. The incident drew a large police and fire response with personnel swarming the scene. Police said the victim had been extinguished by the time they arrived. Paramedics reportedly transported the woman to the hospital where she was listed in critical condition from severe burns to her body and face. A witness told the News, "I just saw her lying on the ground and she was kind of hyperventilating and in a lot of pain, and she was really in bad shape." The Chicago Police Department is investigating. No one has been arrested yet. That was, like I said, at the time of that article, but I think they did arrest somebody. Yeah, Chicago again. In my opinion, your thoughts? A lot is going on in Chicago.
Chicago running a fool around here. Oh my God. So condolences to her. It's hard to hear of a 26-year-old being burnt on the train. This is, oh my God, so sad. Burn victims have to deal with a lot of pain. A lot of pain. This is gonna be a long road for her. Even if she make it, this is gonna be a long road. Oh my God, this is really sad. I don't understand how argument can get you to the point where you're lighting somebody on fire. How could you possibly be that mad to try to set somebody on fire? And who carries stuff around to light somebody on fire?
That part.
You know what? It really needs to be a lot of things done in Chicago. The kids acting a fool and so is the adults. This is just so sad. I'm going to keep her in my prayers because I know this is going to be a long road for her. Oh, my God.
Thank you. Savannah, your thoughts?
And again, I believe this stories like this and incidents like these are why this administration is going to go into that city, and because the leaders are clearly failing the people of Chicago when you have children and adults both acting just plumb fools here. I don't understand. You can't. I'm not going to buy the whole mental health thing. It's this. Although mental health is real, but they can't be used on every incident. I think people are evil and they're just working on a short fuse right now. I recall months ago where the young lady got on the train and the man who did have some mental health challenges ended up unaliving her on the train. It's, if you recall that story, Diva, and she wasn't doing anything, and she was a young woman as well, minding her business wasn't bothering anyone. This man just unprovoked attacked her and unalived her. I don't know to the extent of what interaction the 26-year-old had with the 45-year-old, but you're old enough to be her dad or uncle, where you should have had some type of emotional awareness and controlled your anger, or whatever it is that they were going through. This young lady is going to have to deal with these scars for the rest of her life, depending on how severe the burns were and where. Especially if it's in the in her face and neck area. And I hoped I did, which I didn't hear in the story, if any passerbys helped her. I was hoping someone would assist her. I mean, there's a human on fire and nobody stepped in to cover her or help her. I didn't hear that in the story. So I'm just losing faith in humanity and empathy for each other, because this right here is just getting more and more bizarre. It seemed like a twilight zone that we're living in right now. I like it, in my opinion, said it's going to be a long road of recovery for her, both physically and mentally. And I just hope the young lady is strong enough to conquer the scars that she's going to have to deal with.
Yeah, okay. So they do have a person of interest. This person was supposed to be wearing a freaking ankle monitor. See, some of these people don't need to get out of jail. They need to sit in there until they're sentenced. So exclusive suspect in custody for setting woman on fire on Blue Line is supposed to be wearing an ankle monitor. So Chicago police have detained a suspect in connection with the horrific setting of a woman on fire aboard a Blue Line train in the Loop on Monday night, according to a source familiar with the investigation. And the source says the suspect is supposed to be wearing an ankle monitor for a pending aggravated battery case in which Cook County judge refused to keep him in custody. Chicago is not naming the man because he has not been criminally charged, but here's what we know. The man, who has a history of arson cases, including fires set downtown, was arrested around midday in the Loop as he prepared to board a train near Clark in Washington. We have also learned that, contrary to the initial information released by the Chicago Police Department, there was no argument between the victim and the assailant. Rather, a source said the attack appears completely random and unprovoked. At about 9:25 p.m. Monday, the 26-year-old woman was sitting on a train using her phone when the man walked up and poured liquid from a beverage bottle on her head, a source said. The woman ran through the train car, but he caught up with her and set the liquid as well as portions of his own body on fire, according to the source. The woman was taken to Stroger Hospital in critical condition. No one on the train stepped in to help after the woman was set on fire, the source said. One witness later told police they saw the woman's phone on fire and initially believed it had exploded, causing flames to spread onto her. Court records showed prosecutors asked a Cook County judge to keep the suspect in custody after he was charged with aggravated battery, great bodily harm in the suburbs this summer. But the judge rejected their request and put him on 24/7 electronic monitoring, according to court records. Less than 3 weeks later, another judge modified the terms of his monitoring to let him out of the house during daytime hours, according to court documents. 9:25 p.m. was well after his daily curfew. The office of Chief Judge Timothy Evans operates the electronic monitoring program that was supposed to keep track of the man. Chicago will name the judges who made the detention decisions if and when the man is charged with the CTA attack. Police records show CPD alone has arrested the man 22 times since 2016, with today's arrest being his 23rd. This is dreadful. Dreadful. This didn't have to happen to this young lady. Had they did the right thing and kept this man behind bars, or at least properly monitored his ankle bracelet. This is dreadful. Katrina, your thoughts? Katrina, are you there? Okay, we're going to have to pass. Julius?
This story is sad, and I hope that young lady's family receives justice.
They need to sue. Thank you, Julius. Felicia, your thoughts?
I'm right here. Thank you, Diva. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm gonna let you all know, because I consistently speak truth of my experiences up here, and some of the folks will tell you I've been saying anybody can get it from now to when the ball drops. So I walk around with my pepper spray, and I mean business, because I'm not going to be able to fist the cuff and fight people out over here. So I believe, that man just got on the train and decided he was going to torch another human being. No, she ain't saying nothing. She wasn't doing nothing. She was in her phone. She wasn't paying the person any attention, and they decided that they were going to do her harm. No. See, I'm not plugged in on the train, and I'm not looking at the phone. I got my hand on the pepper spray. I got a couple of socks with some pennies in it and stuff. Because, no, I'm not going to become a victim like that. Because they have allowed these people to be on these public platforms, on these trains, on these buses, in these streets, doing reckless harm to folks who are just trying to go to work, young people who are just trying to go on and build some kind of life. And yes, opinion's absolutely correct. It's one of the worst things that can happen. It's the longest healing for you when you have been burned and you are they graft you time and time again. It's painful coming off with the coverings, and it's painful putting them on. So yes, we have to hold her in prayer. And again, I'm going to agree with Savannah. Donnie J, if they're not there tonight, they're going to be there tomorrow. And what am I going to say? Good. They need to be there. These folks are out of control. There's no one overseeing in terms of law enforcement the train platform. No one. But the conductor didn't see her. The motorman didn't see her. Nothing. This cannot continue. And how does it come to a quick end? Donnie J will do it. And I'll just say, well, it's needed. It's needed. These two stories have me worked up. I'm angry. I'm upset. I'm in pain for these two women here and their children and their families. There's nothing good that can come from these kinds of things. So there may be some folks who are thinking she must have said something. No, I've been on the train all the time. You don't have to say something. And a lot of these people are coming right out of the hospital with a bandage on their wrist and coming up to you with a blade in their hand. So yeah, I walk around with the pepper spray and everything else because anybody can get it. Okay, I'm done.
I appreciate you. Yeah. That chase her down is diabolical. It really is. But that sick puppy should have never been on the street. And those two judges, when they released that name, okay, yeah, y'all don't want to release a name. Since when do they not release a name, even when they didn't physically charge somebody yet? Like never. They don't want to release this name because they know they messed up, and now this young lady is suffering. Let me go ahead and roll into this next story. This Girlalala gone. Very sad. A transgender woman and the boyfriend killed her. I don't understand what's wrong with people. Just let me go. And they said, Patrick, oh, this is really Chicago night. Because Patrick Beverley is from Chicago. I didn't know that. That story is coming up after this one. Let me do this first.
Now an arrest has been made in the death of a transgender woman in Lauderdale Lakes.
And Local 10's Brett Neese is live in Fort Lauderdale with what we're learning about the suspect tonight. Brett.
And Calvin and Nicole, we're learning a lot of new details here at the 9 o'clock hour. Friends of this victim tell me that she and the suspect have been in a relationship for a couple of years, but they had a history of fighting and arguing. These same friends also tell me that they turned in what will likely be a key piece of evidence to investigators. It's video from a Tesla door camera that shows the final argument between the two and the shooting. Known for the different wigs she would wear, this is Maurice Harrison, aka Girlalala.
I'm real Girlalala.
What happened?
The TikToker had hundreds of thousands of followers on the platform. Friends and family tell us she was always smiling. But on Friday, this is where her life was cut short. Broward Sheriff's deputies say the 21-year-old and her boyfriend, Shanoid White Jr., were in an argument inside a car in front of this home. They say he shot her multiple times. She was rushed to the hospital, where she was pronounced dead. White Jr. was in bond court on Sunday.
I'm finding probable cause, and I'm going to keep the no bond hold on Mr. White.
The family, too devastated for an interview, tells Local 10, quote, "As a family, we appreciate every prayer, kind thought, and gesture during our time of bereavement. Now, we are just praying that justice is served to the fullest degree." Sadly, this is not the first time that this family has dealt with a tragedy from gun violence. Just a little over a year ago, the victim's brother was also shot and killed. Meanwhile, White Jr. remains here in jail. Live in Fort Lauderdale, Brett Neese, Local 10 News.
Shame. So TikTok star Girlalala dies at 21 as boyfriend is arrested on first-degree murder charge. The creator, who had hundreds of thousands of followers, worked as a hairstylist in Pompano Beach, Florida. TikTok star Maurice Harrison, known online under the handle Girlalala, died at age 21 on November 14. According to a statement released by the Broward Sheriff's Office, authorities in Lauderdale Lakes, Florida, responded to a medical call around 7 p.m., discovering an individual in the front passenger seat of a vehicle suffering from gunshot wounds. The individual, identified as Harrison, was transported to a local medical center where the influencer was later pronounced dead, according to the statement. Harrison, a hairstylist from Pompano Beach, Florida, maintained a following of over 235,000 on TikTok, per NBC Miami. Though the page now appears to have been deactivated, Harrison's Instagram account, which is still active, has over 41,000 followers. Suspect Shanoid White Jr. was arrested on November 14th for first-degree murder with a firearm and is being held without bond, according to arrest records viewed by People. May she rest in peace. Per the Broward Sheriff's Office, detectives allege White Jr. and Harrison engaged in a verbal argument which turned physical inside of White Jr.'s vehicle. White Jr. told detectives he and Harrison have been in a relationship for several years, the statement adds. At some point, the victim was shot while sitting in a car, the statement continues. A GoFundMe to raise money for Harrison's funeral arrangements has raised over $28,000, including $13,500 in donations from rapper JT. Rest, beautiful Girlalala. We love you, and heaven will never be boring now that you are there. Your boldness, energy, humor, and beauty will be missed. You never miss a chance to show me love, and for that I'm forever grateful. Write the Girls I'm Going Wild artist on Instagram. I'm sorry this happened to you. JK included the hashtags protect trans women and protect Black women in her post, encouraging fans to protect feminism as a whole. A statement on the GoFundMe page reads, "As a family, we appreciate every prayer, kind thought, and gesture during our time of bereavement." The GoFundMe page also states that details for how to contribute to the funeral home will be shared once the family finalize arrangements. I'm super sad. May she rest in peace. We do have to protect the ladies because apparently, it's just open season. In my opinion, your thoughts?
We have to protect the women, but we also have to protect ourselves. And that means not dating these men that show us red flags, because this not the first time. I'm pretty sure this not the first time he's gonna act a fool. Probably not the first time he's gonna put hands on them. The level of rage that you have to be in to just shoot somebody at close range several times. I don't understand this. I don't know where we went from letting people go to now we got to unalive them. If you don't want them, leave them alone. Walk away. Nobody's life is yours to take. And now for what? You gonna sit there and you gonna serve the rest of your life behind bars, if not them putting your needle in your arm. Oh, I tell you, between Florida and Chicago, boy, they doing a number down there.
You ain't never lied. Savannah, your thoughts?
I agree. These stories are heavy tonight. My goodness. I heard of this young lady. I didn't follow her or know her, but because of she has a pretty strong following in South Florida, and she's from South Florida. I've heard some about her. Um, I'm within my opinion. I think there probably were signs of DV, and we as mothers, we have to teach our young girls that if something doesn't feel right in a relationship, and um, tell somebody and break away as safely as possible, because these young men are not, they don't know how to handle rejection, and we had to be able to teach them how to recognize unhealthy behaviors. And I think this young man probably did um, expose himself to her in other ways that weren't unhealthy, because to just come out and unalive someone and their life, I think that's just so extreme and tragic. No matter what she did or was trying to do, I just don't understand why he took it to that level. um so I think there's a message here that both young men and women can learn. But our young ladies did, like, in my opinion, said we definitely need to start protecting themselves. But we as the elders need to also teach them and continue talking to them about, if you start having doubts, if you see red flags, what is an unhealthy relationship, um, what are signs of controlling and abusive, and all these things that they probably dismiss. Because how many stories alone this month have we not done of young ladies no longer here at the hands of someone who was supposed to love them? And it's every night, a heavy night with these three stories that are just horrible.
Yeah. Katrina, your thoughts? We might have lost Katrina. Julius, your thoughts?
Lord have mercy. I'm gonna be consistent when I speak on relationships. When someone is showing, and this is both to the men, the women, it doesn't matter if you're gay, bi, trans, it don't matter. This is a universal gem I'm about to say.
Mhm.
When someone is showing aggressive, harmful attitudes and you feel uneasy, the wise advice I always received, that is your conscience telling you that something is off. You need to be alert. You need to be ready. You need to be ready to leave. And it's something that, and I know we have our feelings about Tyler Perry, but it's something that he said as Medea in Medea's Family Reunion. No, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. He said, love is an addiction. Love is a drug. Sometimes when people love somebody, they overlook the mistreatment and the abuse that they're going through just to have someone say they love them, even sometimes when it's too late. So I just want to reinforce to everybody tonight, if you know that you are in a dangerous situation, and if you just have someone just saying, hey, how are you? And if you feel like you could trust that person, see how that person can help you, because that could be God sending that person to let you out of this situation, to free yourself. As Fantasia says, free yourself. Unfortunately, if you don't take the opportunity to free yourself, you could end up like this young lady and other young ladies who have come before her, and gentlemen who have come before her as well. That's it.
Thank you. Felicia, your thoughts?
Forgive me, everyone. I'm really overwhelmed. I'm 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 spiritually feeling such a void that these folks are just without any relationship with God, any relationship, just the cruelty of how things are getting done, the intent to do harm, to take a life. It's egregious. It's tragic. It's awful. And so now we've got, this is the third story, and these are all young people. They're all young people. So it definitely lets us know that something is definitely wrong in the culture. And it's up to the folks who have these kids, who are their parents, their grandparents, to reconnect with them. We need fathers, men who want to be fathers, who are fathers, to get their act together, to know that parenting is important. And we need the mothers to make better choices. Make better choices. This is sorrowful. My condolences to the family.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and roll into this last story with Patrick Beverley, ex-NFL player, who was informed via the chat. He's originally from Chicago. This is a mess. Ex-Rockets player. So let's take a listen.
Tonight, we're learning more about the arrest of Patrick Beverley, the former Houston Rocket. Here's what we know so far. Fort Bend County officials confirmed that Beverley was arrested today on a felony charge of family violence assault, specifically impeding breath and circulation. That is, his bond is set at $40,000. But just hours ago, his attorney sent us a statement saying, quote, Patrick Beverley has no criminal record. He cares deeply about his little sister, a young lady, a minor, given that when he unexpectedly found her alone in the home with an 18-year-old man in the middle of the night, he was understandably concerned, as any brother would be, about his sister. Beverley took to social media saying, quote, please don't believe everyone you see on the internet. Hope all is well.
And he said everything.
And two girls.
Let me just share screen again. So Patrick Beverley accused of choking, punching sister in the eye before assault arrest. So TMZ Sports has obtained more details surrounding Patrick Beverley's arrest. The ex-NBA player is accused of punching his sister in the eye and choking her for up to 30 seconds at a Texas home. According to the probable cause affidavit, Beverley's sister told officials she left the home in the middle of the night without permission to see her boyfriend at a nearby park on November the 14th. When she returned home, her mother, Lisa, was awake and told her to enter her room. Lisa then told her daughter to call the boyfriend and tell him to pick up. Upon his arrival, the boyfriend was told to go inside, and Lisa called Beverley to come over to the residence. Beverley then seemingly scolded her sister before he grabbed her by her neck with both hands and picked her up off the ground by having her feet come up from the floor. His sister claims his grabs on her neck made her feel pain, as if she was losing oxygen and unable to breathe, which lasted about 20 to 30 seconds. The sister stated Beverley took her out of the bedroom by the neck and slammed her body against the wall of an open room area of the house. She claims Beverley then laid her on the sofa, stood on top of her, and punched her approximately one time on her left eye with a closed fist. The sister added Beverley made a comment that he will be the family relative to kill her. The doc stated the boyfriend was then told to leave the house and Beverley followed him. When Beverley returned, the sister claims her boyfriend called the cops for assistance. Officials say they were markings on the sister's neck, and she had patchy in the whites of her eyes. Beverley was taken into custody and booked for felony assault in Fort Bend County Jail. He later went to social media claiming, "Please don't believe everything you see on the internet. Hope all is well. Love." In my opinion.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Who? You know what? The mama get a F.
Mm-hmm.
The brother get a F.
Mm.
This whole family get a F.
Mm.
It ain't nobody in this family that got no common sense. Not a damn one. First of all, the mama should have been teaching the son that you don't put your hands on a woman, especially not your sister. What in the world is this? I don't understand these people. Listen here, you know, I get that you don't want your little sister out with the people and she underage, but you cannot put your hands on nobody. You dang sure can't choke them out for over 20 and 30 seconds. Oh my God. You know what? And this mama is trash. You sat there and watched one of your kids put hands on another kid and you just sitting there? The mama needs to go to jail too. Why they ain't lock her ass up? Oh, excuse me, Deep. I'm sorry. Oh, you know what? Let me tell you something. Chicago, y'all done took the cake tonight. If these the people from Chicago, I don't want them to never be nowhere near me, okay? Because I don't know what's going on in Chicago. What's up with that water down there? And then he done moved to Texas and trying to take Texas out. I don't know what's wrong with these people. I'm telling you, if this is what y'all raising, then it's going to be a lot of people that's going to be gone. Because I'm telling you, I stay in a protect state. And I stay strapped. So any of these demons come my way, I'm just going to shoot them up.
Oh, yeah. Listen, let me say this. You know, we saw the first story where the little kids was coming in the streets, beating up the mom and her son and her daughter. But do you see this here in adulthood? It got to get nipped in the bud early on. Savannah, your thoughts?
But this was an attack that was orchestrated by the mother. So I agree. I believe the mother should also come up on charges. I'm to see what the young lady did wrong. I mean, okay, she snuck out. I'm pretty sure it's not the first time. What teenager doesn't? Which one of us didn't sneak out? I don't. To see a boyfriend, I'm pretty sure. You never snuck out, Diva?
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Okay. All right. All minus one.
And you know what? And I didn't even date young.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to date young. Well, 16, and I think that's about the age. But bring a boy home, that wasn't until it was 18. And go out on dates not till 18, but I still don't know what the young lady did wrong besides being a teenager. So the mom is problematic to me in this story. Yes, this man has some anger issues, but she gave him the authority to do that, to treat his sister in that way. I'm pretty sure he is financially taking care of the mom in her household. So that's one of the reasons why she probably gave him the authority to do that to his sister. It's still not right. You don't put your hands on all people, never on a woman, nonetheless your sister. I didn't hear a father in this story. I don't know story on this, but this, and all they really did was push the young lady even closer to her boyfriend, because once you start restricting someone from something, they're going to want it even more and going to run to it. So she, I hope that this young lady gets counseling, because she's going to have some real hatred towards her brother and her mother, to be choked to the point of almost unconsciousness. That is some real anger right there. So he should be facing what he is, but the mother should be as well. She should have some charges.
Julius?
Oh, ay. This man sounds like a crazy basket case. It must be something in the water, because I guess with Chicago being in the news, it just happened that we was gonna report on the stories of Chicago tonight. It's just maddening. That's all I can say.
Thank you. Felicia, your thoughts?
Well, God, there's so much in this story. So this is not the first time he beat up on his sister. He's been beating up on her. Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Been beating up on her. His father beat up on his mother. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how that went. I suspect that they don't have the same father. Mm-hmm. A lot coming through on this story for me. Big question. They called the boyfriend to come over. Nobody beat up the boyfriend.
No, he did. He the way I read it was he let the boyfriend see what he did to the sister, and then they told the boyfriend you can leave, and he walked out after the boyfriend, and the boyfriend is the one that called the cops and was like, "No."
But he wasn't charged with hurting the boyfriend, so I'm questioning it. He might have said something, because I think he's a punk. I think he's one of these very large men that think, just based on size, I'm going to intimidate. But he's a punk. And the mother, she's an embarrassment.
Talk about it.
Now, this little girl, this daughter here, I didn't hear her age. Did anybody get her age?
16. She's 16.
So she's 16, the boyfriend 18. And she snuck out to go see her boyfriend. The mother knew she left. The mother knew the boyfriend phone number. He seemed somewhat respectful, because he came over when she asked him to.
She sure did. Okay.
And this is the actions that they take. I agree with Savannah's opinion. She needs to be charged and locked up. I said it before. Anybody can get it. She need to get it first. And then the brother, you beating up on a whole lot of people. I don't know. Is he still actively playing? I hope he is, so that they can throw him out and he don't get no more money. But he's been in there for a while, I saw it. And somebody in the chat said, well, he got a whole host of problems. Well, clearly he does. And then he has the nerve to post something about don't believe everything you read. But we supposed to believe that your sister lied? They said her eye is protruding out. That's a lie? There's no reason, none whatsoever, for you to have assaulted your sister. None. None whatsoever. This family, they need a lot of help. They're violent, okay? And they're out of bounds with their roles. If the mother called and said, I think your sister's down the street, can you go get her and bring her home? That's one thing. But come over and stomp her nearly to death? And then you posting a heart up there? No. No. And I want to thank the boyfriend for having called the police. I love it. I love that he did that. I love that he did that. He's brave and he cares about his girlfriend, and he called the police. And that's what he was supposed to do. I'm done.
I appreciate you. Listen, people. Hi, Diva. You always have great stories that I miss on the news that are so interesting. I appreciate you and thank you for coming through to hear the stories. Listen, these stories were all connected in different ways. You know, you think he wasn't like this as a child, and like 48 put in the chat. She said he went to a school for bad boys, bad kids, whatever the case may be. And he never got the help that he needed. But it starts in the home. That's why I said to y'all, this is just my opinion. I don't know nothing for a fact because I don't know these people. But that's why I told y'all those kids are seeing something crazy in their home that they think it's okay, that they even beating up on a little kid and then a mother too and pulling a little girl's hair. This ain't the first time that she told her son to handle the daughter that came out of her body that she's supposed to be raising. She telling her son, come over here and handle it. And y'all think that just started now? She was telling that little kid from the moment the father left, whoever the father was, you the man of the house. And he felt like that's how he gonna handle things. He gonna put hands on you because he allegedly told his sister, I'll be the one in this family to take you out if you keep playing in these streets and not listen to mom and think you're gonna be running around here with some boyfriend and end up pregnant. Not on our watch. That's what he telling her. Why? Because the mom probably said, I got pregnant. This is not facts, people. I got pregnant young. You see, I ain't have nobody here. You ain't bringing no baby in this house. This is a hot, stinking mess. Just parents not even willing to learn how to parent correctly. But I promise you, if you in your house, you cursing, you on the phone with your friends, these little impressionable minds are watching and listening. And you telling your girlfriends, oh no, so-and-so going to get it. I'll go to that school. I'll punch this one in the face. I'll do this. I'll do that. You think your kids are not hearing that? You allowing all different kind of men come in and out your house. You got your kids calling them Uncle so-and-so. It ain't even nobody uncle. Yeah, thank you, Denise. Dysfunction all around. Dysfunction all around. And he, as an adult, don't even know no better. He literally came over there, snatched his sister up, and punched his own sister in the eye. So what he's doing to girlfriends? And allegedly, I guess I gotta say allegedly, what's going on with the girlfriends? When they get out of line and out of control. So I'm gonna stay connected to these stories. This mom who went through all of that has sickle cell, as y'all told me in the chat. I'm gonna stay connected to this. I want her son and her daughter out of that school system, and I want the Board of Education to pay for wherever they got to go. My prayers is that they're out of there. This disgrace. This woman that's set on fire, you're right. She's going to have to go through a lot of medical things because one of the witnesses says she was burnt to a crisp, but it can make sense now. He literally poured some flammable liquor on this girl, set her on fire, and then they said her phone possibly blew up and should have never been out. I'm suing Chicago, the city. And I want millions because he should have never been on the street. Girlalala, rest in peace. It's horrible that this happened to you. And Patrick Beverley, forget about posting the prayer emoji, the heart emoji, and all that. Go get help. And you're an adult now, so you can look at your mother and tell your mother, you go get some help too, mom, because you need it. I want to know this mother's name. Shame on you. You thought you had a daughter that was running the streets, and now your son is in trouble under your watch. Mommy, go get help. Like right now. Because this whole situation, this mess is your fault. Listen, guys. Y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, hit it on the way out. I appreciate y'all coming through. Thank you for spending time with the Diva. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo choo.